yesterday morning, we woke up from sleep. I was with my last born, Jerry. And Ifechukwu, all of a sudden, was not in our midst. So my mother-in-law said, Ifechukwu is crying. I heard Ifechukwu. So my wife ran out to the room to know if I had flogged him, because he is a fan of Kane in my house when he misbehaves. But she didn't see him. Now left the house. You know, Okada no Akwanwa came to the kitchen, because that's the only logical place you can look for somebody in the house you don't see, kitchen. And then somebody said, Shamai said, look downstairs. That cry is coming from downstairs. Behold, Ifechukwu was on the ground. He was not lying down. He was on his knees, and his hand was on the ground. That's how he was. So, she didn't tell me that. She just shouted, and you know, this shout disoriented everybody. I ran downstairs. She got there before me anyways. So when I saw Ifechukwu, he was on the ground. She just carried him. I collected him from him. I have him from her. And Ifechukwu was just busy crying, mommy, oh, mommy, and then I was like, so I took him upstairs. You know, as he was lying down and I was buttoning my shirt up, wearing my shirt. So me, I was ready to start seeing blood, you know, swellings, everything. Just the things you will expect from somebody who fell from that height. Nothing. My wife was already crying. My mother-in-law was already crying.
Is it one-story building?
Two-story building. Those who know my house will understand. It's not an ordinary two-story building. There's a house next to my own. It's a two-story building. But it is like this and our own is like this. So it is quite high. And where he landed was not sand. Was not grass. It was soccer pit. Where you know they do soccer pit. That is where he landed. So I came downstairs with hope that I'm carrying a lifeless baby. Behold, he was just crying. In short, that was what calmed me down. I said, come, if this guy is still crying first, I am going to contain myself until I get to the hospital. So I now carried him. The person that wanted to carry us, exhaust got hooked somewhere and the thing spoiled. And our neighbor who saw him when my wife was crying came and took us. We went to Regina. At first, Regina said the pediatrician doctor was not around. So your advice will go to Amaku. So we now went to Amaku. Getting there, I was the only one doing emergency. All the nurses were relaxed because when I was telling them this boy fell from two-story building, have their med, this your normal routine checkup, everything. If you sit, let's start doing. Father Basil, I called him in time. Father Basil was there. He came there immediately and told me to fill an emergency care form or something like that. Meaning they should just start doing anything they need to do. And they say I will pay. You know, that was how it was. So a male CT scan, they did every other thing. I've forgotten the English now, but behold, CT scan, zero, nothing, as in brain, normal. Not even a scratch on the head. That one calmed me down. And there's an X-ray of the chest and on the right, because I felt he landed with that right, because there was this bruise on his armpit. No crack on the ribs. Number 2. Number 3, the hip and everything, bone, intact. You know, number 4, no bleeding. So the doctor did not, till today, the doctor did not believe it. So we had an argument. I left the hospital with him signing me, go home. No, marry him the water. Till today, he left. He said he will not do this. He just give him the injection and left. But that is what God can do. You know, the miracle was just too much. So I want you to help me thank God. In addition, we're going for Thanksgiving on Sunday here. So we'll just do everything together. Maybe the Thanksgiving and child education once. Let it just, because it was too much. It's too much to be on one event. The truth is that because it's an emergency and the way things went, there might not be celebration yet. But whether you like it or yes, something must die in place of the Pichuku. Something must die in place of a ram or goat, but anything must die in place of it.
You give mama